Right.
Like when you're on the side. Like
Yeah, you
this,
can't see anything.
Melissa, we're good?
One of the kids.
Almost 2 minutes late.
Welcome everyone to the Township Council meeting, Monday, August 25th, 2025. This meeting is now called to order. Councilman Vanchery, lead us in a salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 7th, 2025. A copy of the notice was sent to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the township clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the township website at littlefallsnj.gov. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Thank you. We'll move right to Mayor's report and then we'll do the minutes. Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Council President, I'm going to ask you to circle back in a minute because I know we're waiting on one more player to show up. So maybe we can do some of the council member reports.
Okay,
first.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Patel,
Present.
Councilmember Murphy,
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz, Councilmember Vanchery,
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of July 28th?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Vanchery. There's a roll call. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of meeting of August 11th, 2025? Moved by Councilwoman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Patel,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery.
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Councilwoman, we'll move to council reports. Councilwoman Patel.
Thank you, Council President. Just a few quick updates. The Clifton Health Department is partnering with Screen New Jersey to hold a free prostate cancer screening at Clifton City Hall. That's going to be on Tuesday, September 30th from 1 to 5 p.m. The Public Health Committee is still working with the Clifton Health Department on our limited public health assessment. As I get more updates on that, I will provide those to you. And the next Public Health Committee meeting will be September 10th at 6:30 at Town Hall. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Vanchery.
Thanks, Council President. A few things from me. One is the 9/11 ceremony will be on September 11th at 6 p.m. at Wilmore Road Park. The annual ceremony, which we honor the men and women that lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. I am going to reach out this week to DPW, the rec department, the PD, as well as the fire department to go over some of the details for that. And Council President, if I can ask you to cover for me and lead the ceremony, I'll give you all the information you need. Unfortunately, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be in Baltimore on the 11th and 12th, so I will not be able to be here for that ceremony. So I'll send you everything you need. The other thing too is I want to thank the Little Falls DPW department as well as the Little Falls Police Department. We have been working behind the scenes for a number of months to add some pedestrian crosswalks. If you've been down by the field on Patterson Ave, you're there for football right now or some of your fall sports, we put the lighted crosswalk over by the crosswalk that's near where the eating area is in between the two fields. So one has been installed. We're working on getting a second one for the area near the rec center building. And we're also going to have another one go up this week by Wilmore Road, the entrance over by 2nd Avenue near the park. So we are looking to add more of these pedestrian crossings to make sure that when the players as well as their parents are crossing back and forth from parking lots, they feel safe knowing that this will stop traffic. So thank you to all those that were involved and more to come. The other thing I also want to thank the DPW for is myself and some members of our transportation committee spent the weekend kind of driving around, just looking at some signage that needs to be updated, replaced, or if there's tree branches that are obstructing what the sign says. So thank you to DPW for taking that list I sent, and they've already started addressing some of those needs, and whatever signs that we don't have, we're going to look at ordering as well. I know we have a team here, and Coach Kuby is waiting for one more player to arrive. I do want to say kudos to this team. It was a little bittersweet watching that game that night because the other team was actually coached by my kid brother. But it was a great game that went into extra innings. You know, we all sat there and happy obviously for Little Falls, but it was one of those great games where Coach Hubie and my brother really enjoyed what the kids did. So I'm glad that they're finally here so we get to honor them tonight. Even though they have the Mets colors, I know we talk about that all the time. They're not Yankee colors. We still enjoy that they're here. So congratulations, kids. Here's your last player too. So we'll get this started soon. Congrats. That's it for me.
Thank you. Councilman Murphy?
Thank you, Council President. Just echo Councilman Vancheri's remarks. Congratulations to the team that's here tonight. On the Domestic Violence Awareness Committee front, we do have a meeting Tuesday, September 2nd at 7 p.m. in the upstairs room at Town Hall. And on the town calendar front, we are starting to work on the 2026 town calendar. So we are taking applications for anybody who wants to advertise in it. So please reach out to myself, Councilwoman Hiblitz, or Tyler Passero down at the Rec Center. We have taken them open. I think we're probably going to close in the next month or two on applications for anybody who wants to advertise. So definitely get that out if you do want to be in that. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Murphy. October 10th will be the Harvest Moon dinner dance. Will be from 12 to 4. The committee decided this year to have it in the afternoon since we've been getting some concerns of seniors that have a challenge to drive at night. This will be Friday at the Civic Center. The non-resident fee will be $15. Residents are free. Music will be supplied by DJ Angelo, and there'll be an email blast coming out with more information. Mayor Damiano?
Thank you, Council President. This evening, we are very proud to be honoring an undefeated baseball team here in Little Falls, coached by Coach Al Hubie, who I'm going to ask to join me up here to invite all of his players up and call them out so they can all get a medal. But what we do need to, did he just walk out? We lost.
Lorenzo, you got to find them.
Oh, we got one more on the way? How far away? Council President, do we want to get through the agenda? Wait 5 minutes and we'll circle back? Let's do it. We'll wait 5 minutes for the show up. Yeah, we'll get through the rest of the agenda. You guys are going to have to entertain us as we get through 5 minutes of our agenda here, all right? I was singing your praises and you were out there. We're talking about your record this season, but we'll bring you back up in a sec.
Council, you have anything for the governing body tonight?
No, I do not.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Patel. All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually, sorry, I lost my place. By calling him, must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we'll return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So the floor is open for agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one coming before this governing body, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So move.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, are you ready now? Okay, Mayor Damiano.
All right, Coach Hubie missed it, so we're gonna have to do this again. I said we're honored to recognize a baseball team here in Little Falls this year, the Jokers, who went undefeated with a record of 11-0 this year. Very, very impressive year that they had. And we need to acknowledge the fact that in the past 3 years, Coach Shuby has had a record of 32-1, bringing a lot of victories home here to Little Falls. So you guys are lucky to be part of such an incredible team. So I'm going to call Coach Shuby up to introduce all of his players, and we can give them all a medal. Oh, you have to use the mic.
All right. The Jokers champions.
Say a few words first.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. It was an amazing season. I had a great time coaching all you guys. It was a lot of fun, and I hopefully we'll be here again next year. All right, let's get started. First, we have Aman. Come on up. Right. Right. Is he up? Okay. All right, next we have Chayton. Next, Omar. Next, we have JJ. Isa. Vincenzo. My son, Ryan. And last, we have Anthony. Assistant coaches, I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much for all the help, all the practices, all the sweat throughout the season. We have Ethan. Ethan coming up. Next, we have my guy, Phil. And this guy's been with me for 3 years, so he knows how it is to win, Lorenzo. Knows how it feels to win. 3 years with Lorenzo. Hopefully, we could do 3 more. And that's it. That's us. We're missing a few players, but this is most of our team. Thank you so much. Oh, one more thing. Happy anniversary to Lorenzo. Happy anniversary. Again, I'm proud of you guys, the Jokers. You're welcome.
So you guys can certainly stay for the rest of the meeting. It probably won't be too long. If you guys don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, feel free. You guys can certainly head out.
Nope. No, not even me when I was a kid. Had to eat. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you like to, we're going to move to the consent agenda. Mayor, can you discuss A through F and spend some extra time on E and F?
Sure thing, Council President. Some of these are somewhat self-explanatory and things that we see on a regular basis, like A and B, resolutions authorizing the Affordability Assistance Grant, as we have discussed in the past. the Council on Affordable Housing and through our state contract, they issue these affordability assistance grants to individuals. And those two are two more of them that will be added here in Little Falls. Any questions on A and B? All right. Item number C is the resolution authorizing the contract with certain approved state contract vendors for contracting units pursuant to NJSA 4811-12A. And this is again, as we know from time to time, we add state contract vendors to allow us to perform work at state contract rates rather than going at the bid on certain things. That's what item number C is about this agenda. Any questions on item C? All right, item number D is the resolution authorizing the insertion into the 2025 municipal budget, special item of revenue and appropriation, each titled National Opioid Settlement Grant. And each year, we have been receiving a National Opioid Settlement Grant, this year in the amount of $9,711.58. And when we receive a revenue that wasn't previously anticipated in our budget, by resolution, we are allowed to then add that figure to our annual budget. So any questions on item D? All right. Item E. Item E is the resolution of the Township Council to authorize the development of a new public parking lot. And while we're calling it a new public parking lot, it is not so much a new public parking lot. It is the parking lot that surrounds our former municipal building here in Little Falls. As everyone knows, there have always been parking around that lot. Some of it was less formal than others, and some of it was more of a gravel patch than it was a real parking lot. But with the improvements being made in that area to that building by the Historical Society, we are looking to put in a more formalized parking lot. As everyone here knows, we spent months and months waiting for our utilities here in town to move a telephone pole in that area where the new driveway will be for this parking lot. So all part of that process, and part of this resolution here is the resolution to authorize the development of that new public parking lot. I have been contacted by the library, who has requested that a number of the spaces that are currently designated for their use there, that they be permitted to continue to use them for their use. They have a lot of senior citizens and elderly residents with mobility issues who use the library, and they're looking to ensure that they're able to continue to do so into the future. So this is the resolution to authorize that development of that public parking lot. Any questions from the council?
Mayor, can you discuss where the monies is coming from, the 145,000, and why would this council entertain doing this parking lot? Because that monies won't cover the entire parking lot, but cover probably a good portion, and discuss the possible costs related to that these township would have to cover the rest of the parking lot.
Absolutely, Council President. So this is a conversation that dates back a number of years now, where this municipal council introduced something called a pileup, which was a payment in lieu of parking. And when developers are unable to provide adequate parking spaces in our downtown area as they move forward with their development applications, if they're short a handful of spots, we can still grant the applications, but require them to pay up to $5,000 per parking space that they are deficient. And there is $145,000 sitting in that fund for the lack of parking in our downtown. And the intention and the purpose of those funds is to increase and to produce additional downtown parking spaces. So it is doing just that by adding these new formal spots in this lot. The developer is going to be spending the $145,000 and giving it to the Historical Society so that they can make this improvement to our parking lot here in town. And part of the reasoning and the basis for doing so is because the Historical Society will be able to get far more work done for $145,000 than we will as a council, because they will be able to hire a contractor that will do it privately versus publicly. And as we all know, private dollars tend to go much further than public dollars in projects such as this.
And Mayor, why would the council entertain this project versus the canal parking lot, Morris Canal parking lot, or possibly another project in town?
Sure. So those parking lots are the ones that you've already mentioned are completed, to a certain extent, although they could certainly use some improvements. The canal parking lot, the developer is actually on the hook to in that area is already on the hook to make some improvements to that area. So that will also be happening at the conclusion of some of the development in our downtown. And this is a lot, again, where we will actually be able to realize a major net increase in parking spaces, brand new spaces being created in this area that haven't been there before, I think providing the maximum benefit to all of us here in Little Falls.
Council members, questions? Through the
no,
chair,
just-
Councilwoman Patel.
Thank you, Council President. Just a clarification. Is it 145 or 150?
It's $145,000 is the amount in the pileup fund. I think I was using 150 as a rough number in the past, but there's $145,000 in that fund right now.
Okay, and then I know it was part of a resolution that the planning board put through when the applicant came forward. It was before I was on council, but I did do a light reading. So I just wanted some clarification because like you said, there are other parts of the township that the applicant would need to pay, for example, the Morris Canal parking lot, all those things were already taken into consideration when the sum of 145 was agreed upon, right? Because there was a lot more parking spots that they were deficit than the 145 if it's 5,000 per spot, right? So if there's unexpected costs that would be upon the township as a result of any construction or improvements made to those lots, wouldn't it benefit the residents to have that 150 to pay for that instead of us having to find funds to do it elsewhere?
Those lots all already exist, and parking spaces already exist there. This would be adding new formal spaces to our, downtown area. Those lots are again, all already in existence. They're all there. Theoretically, I guess the funds could be used to pave it if need be, or things such as that. But these are funds that are to be used for a limited purpose of adding to or enhancing parking spaces in the area of our downtown.
So what is the $150,000, sorry, $145,000 going to cover in terms of?
It's going to cover as much as $145,000 can to improve and finalize the parking lot surrounding the former municipal building.
That's not an answer. Do you have specifics? Like, how far into this project are we going to get with the $145,000?
Further than the municipality could doing the work ourselves. Probably about 3 times further than the municipality could doing the work ourselves.
And at what point, when is this project
Once the building,
going to start?
once the site work around the building is more completed, then it will start in that area there. But again, the Historic Society is going to utilize these funds to make these improvements in that area.
Any more questions? Councilwoman Patel?
I'm sure.
Okay, we'll circle back. Councilwoman Vanchery?
Mayor, I just wanted you to clarify too, because, there was something earlier today where a non-resident said there was going to be meters involved in this lot, which can you please clarify that wasn't the case? We were talking about extending parking space, because I think what people don't understand is the area that's going to be added is that grassy area that's to the left of the building.
Correct.
Clarify a little bit of that.
Yeah, no, there's no meters intended to be installed in this lot, just as there's not anywhere else in town right now. Again, if that's something that this council wants to pursue in the future, I guess it is something that could be considered in the future. But at this time, there's been zero conversation between myself or any council members, and I don't believe between any council members either, of adding meters to any, municipal public parking lot that we have here in Little Falls.
Councilman Murphy?
Thank you, Council President. Real quick question. I don't know if you guys can answer this here. I know Mr. Verdi's on too. I know a lot of what they do is through grants. If we're giving this money to the the way it functions is it goes to the Historical Society then do?
I believe the Historical Society, yes, will contract with the contractor. And then that contractor will be paid from this fund, monies that are being held in an escrow account currently.
Can the Historical Society utilize grants to pave this? Is that an option that's on the table?
I think the Historical Society is running at a point where the grants that they have are barely getting them by even the completion of the building itself. I don't think there are very many grants that are granted to 501c3s to put in drainage and parking lots. I would venture to say that those are far more limited than improvements to a building where you're able to display historical artifacts and things like that.
Right.
Again, that's an assumption just based upon reviewing the grants that come up on a monthly basis. I don't know that there's very many to do. a
Yeah, I mean,
parking
that
lot.
would be like the ideal scenario, right? If we could utilize it wherever and then still get that paved via grant. Just a potential, but, yeah, I think that's really all I had. I just want to look a little more into it too, CP. I don't know if that's.
I would say the other part of it would be, right, no different than the municipality. If we could secure a grant to do a parking lot,
Right.
I'm sure we would. I can tell you, in reviewing all of the grants that have come out over the past, 9 years or so, I've never seen one to repave
Allocated
a
towards
parking
that.
lot or, yeah, I mean, sometimes you have them for purposes of drainage for stormwater, things such as that. Again, they're few and far between if they do come out, and this is not really that either. So,
Right.
and we'd be able to apply for that as well as would they. But
Sure.
I haven't seen any of those grants.
Okay.
Mr. Vetri, can you hear us? Mr. Vetri?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Good evening. Can you, were you listening in? Did you hear the questions? Would you like to elaborate?
Sure, hold on one sec. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. I'm not sure why my video is not working, but you'll be deprived of seeing me. Hello, everyone. So yes, I've heard the comments, and yeah, to answer Councilman Murphy's question, I'm not aware of any grants that we would be eligible for parking lots or parking improvements. There were these community development block grants that the township and probably the Historical Society would be eligible for. We have pending some very large grants right now, but all in several $100,000 worth of grants. But those grants are restricted for improvements to the building itself. So we were awarded grants to allow for the installation of the slate roof, as an example. That's been done. That was $150,000. We were recently awarded grants for all new windows and doors, which is also like $250,000. And most recently, we were awarded a small but meaningful grant from AARP to create an outdoor center in the front to pay for some of the paving and landscaping there for sidewalks. But that would not, and it's a small grant, that would not cover any of the parking lot improvements.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Vetri? Since he's been very involved with this Historical Society. Okay. So what we'll do is, it seems that council still has some maybe unanswered questions. We'll bring this to the next meeting for a vote. We'll pull this for tonight, but please be ready to vote on this for the next meeting. Mayor, can you discuss this reimbursement and take the council back from the beginning on this and bring it right up to the present?
Absolutely. And again, I'll talk in general numbers here as far as Resolution F. This is a resolution authorizing the payment to Basque 3 for reimbursement costs in relation to the recreation snack bar operating agreement. At the time that the recreation center improvements were made to the sports and recreation complex, particularly the outdoor eating area there, there was Basque 3 was going to be awarded the contract to operate the snack shack for us for the period of 5 years, which they have done. At the time, there's an agreement entered into between the municipality and Basque 3 in order to allow them to make improvements to the municipal structure, which was the shack itself, as we all know it. It was, it was a cinder block building. It has since been wrapped in a decorative wood with improvements made to it. As everyone knows, there's a gazebo there with outdoor eating area, and the kitchen was fully equipped with real kitchen, formal kitchen equipment, more than the hot dogs and pretzels that used to previously be served out of there. There was, full commercial kitchen equipment added. And the deal that was entered into at the time was that so the municipality did not need to incur the substantial cost of making all of the improvements to that area at the time. The agreement was that Basque 3 would furnish the outdoor seating area, the gazebo, make the shack more decorative, and install all of the kitchen equipment, as well as the vending machines that were around the recreation center complex. And that rather than paying rent each and every year, that the amount that he put into the project would come off of his rent until the rent were then either owed, or if there was a balance owed to him at the end of the 5 years, and if he was not going to extend his contract, he would then be reimbursed to minimize the impacts and the total obligations at the time of creating the recreation center eating area there, including the gazebo. There is a balance owed to Basque 3 at this time, and this is just simply the resolution to authorize the payment to them to reimburse them for the cost that they put into the recreation center shack area.
Questions regarding the reimbursement?
Council President, real quick.
Councilman
Mayor,
Murphy?
just a quick question. Because I wasn't involved in the original 2020. In the contract with BAC, do we have like, is there a breakdown of what he exactly did? Like, do we know like the full amount? Like, did he spend 103,000? Did he spend 96? Like, what exactly do we have? Like, what is the breakdown of this and how it panned out?
We have the figures down to the exact penny, including depreciation that we went through. Again, I can get them. I don't have them in front of me this second, but to the penny, we have every single purchase of every piece of kitchen equipment, of the gazebo, of what he paid to wrap it, he actually furnished the tables that are underneath it, the chairs that are underneath it, every single thing there, he furnished, and he kept an itemized list at the time, provided us with receipts at the time. So we know exactly what he put into it 5 years ago. As of, I believe it was September of 2020, that it opened. So 5 years have now gone by, and we are at the point where, again, he has terminated his contract, so we're just paying him the balance of what was not collected in rent against the total that was owed. So
Got it.
don't quote me on the exact number. If rent was, $7,500 a year, if the original number was $100,000, there was $7,500 per year deducted from that number. Again, we took depreciation into consideration as well, and then we're paying him the balance of what is owed.
Got it. Thank you. It was a specific number. I just want to know how we
It's
came
a
up with
very
that. Yeah,
specific number
yeah,
down to the
yeah.
penny. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This-
it's been all accounted for.
Right. This also included, part of the contract is that on each and every one of the vending machines, the township received, I believe it's 15% of the gross revenue of each
the
vending
vending
machine
machine.
as well. So that was also all accounted for over all of the years. And we are down to essentially the penny of what is owed in the balance
Got it.
between all those costs.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, if I recall reading the report, it was like the ice machine, the oven, refrigeration, also some pots, pans, et cetera, that, added up to $67,000.
And Council President, if I may, the benefit is now, although we are going to be paying out Basque 3 for the balance, the municipality is going to begin seeing a new revenue going forward because the individual who will be taking over the new contract for the shack is going to be paying monthly rent to the municipality because there is no credit owed to them for work that has
Just
been
the
done.
equipment, right.
So with the exception of they provided the cleaning of the hood, they were required to get all their permits. So they are only seeing the benefit of waiving September's rent payment because the cost actually that they put into it to clean and everything exceeded what the month's rent would have been. So there's a waiver of September's rent starting October 1st. Monthly rent will be collected for a period of 5 years or 4 years and 11 months beyond September 1.
Okay.
Mayor, I think you could announce who that person is, right? The contract's been solidified.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was, opened up and it will be the owners of Bellanote here in town. Of course, this will be a separate entity that they will have, but the owners of Bellanote in town will be opening up at what was the shack, now going to be known as the Huddle Hut. And they have what looks like a pretty fun menu that they have distributed to everyone. I believe they're looking to eventually move to not only operate during when games are occurring, which is happening now, but to actually be operational 365 days a year, maybe even extending to breakfast, lunch and dinner, but certainly lunch and dinner moving forward.
Councilman Murphy, questions answered?
It was, Council President. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so we're going to vote on the consent agenda. We are not, E is not going to be voted on. E is going to be removed. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda without E. Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. I'm sorry, let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Can we resend that? Because I think we have a conflict on the council on item E. I'm sorry.
Not being
Only
voted on.
E.
No,
F.
we're not,
F.
F, I'm sorry, thank you, F.
Okay, so there be so for person who motioned and second, you're retracting your motion and your second?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right?
you gotta answer your-
Okay, so
Okay.
that original motion is retracted. Now you would take a motion on
Right,
A through D. and then you're gonna vote on F
Okay,
separately.
Kevin, right, consent agenda A through D at this time. So moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. Okay, we're going to vote through A through D. Can I have a roll call?
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. There is a conflict, correct, Councilwoman Patel, on E with F with you? I'm sorry, F with you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve Resolution F?
So move. I
Vote.
can move for it, right?
No.
No,
No. So.
I don't move.
No.
All right. I'll second it. I got the second.
I like to hold my job a little longer, Councilman Patel, so, thank you. It was moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Murphy. This is to approve F. Roll call on F.
Councilmember Patel?
Abstain.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Oh,
Wait, G.
and G.
G.
Have a motion to approve G?
Yeah, please.
So move.
Moved by Councilman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. Roll call on G, please.
Councilmember Patel?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, can I have a motion to open the meeting to public for general matters?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The floor is now open. I'm guessing no one in our chat is raising their hands? Yeah, you're welcome. Come on up, sir.
Very few times I come out. I'm Joseph Elijoy. I'm on 34 Woodhall.
Good evening.
Just for the tax purpose. I was disappointed to see the tax going up. Because we have so many apartments, now we got about 500 at least all over. We here in Main Street and on 23 and so on and so forth. And the tax went up. But usually, you know, in English language, I know there was a good phrase, whatever it goes up, it must come down, except the tax. It never go down. I mean, why did they raise me $300 each quarter? You're talking about, you know, I gotta still working to make a living. And I'm almost 80 years old. How the hell are we gonna do these things? It keep on going every year high. I mean, I don't understand. After you restructure, I mean, the town, they so many apartments, so but I don't know. You must make a lot of money taking now. So how do we gotta raise that?
Sure. So the tax increase this year on the average home in Little Falls was $45 per month. And that increase was a result of in just this past year, in 2025, the municipality had an increase of about $500,000 between medical and liability insurance. About a $300,000 increase in garbage tipping costs and fees. There was about a $300,000 increase to the library. There was about an $80,000 increase in pension contributions. There were substantial increases that before the municipality dealt with a single dollar worth of regular cost of living increases that employees receive, before we dealt with even paying for the additional cost that salt has, that paper has, that paper clips are, that electric costs, that every single thing that we all feel every single day as regular, individuals, that the township needs to buy. There was millions of dollars worth of increases in costs to the municipality this year alone. Now, if we look at the biggest development in town that has come online and the taxes have come online over the last couple of years, last year, there was zero tax increase in the local taxes to residents here in Little Falls. And I say that because I'm a big believer in we should only increase taxes when we absolutely need to. I don't like to increase taxes to residents when there's not an absolute need, because I'd rather keep that money in residents and taxpayers' pockets as long as possible, because it's better for you to have it than for us to keep it in the bank. That's my belief. So last year, had we had a small increase of $20 or $25 a month on the average home, this year's increase would have only been $20 or $25 on the average home. The issue is that, again, because we try to keep money in taxpayers' pockets as long as possible, when there is a tax increase, unfortunately, we all see the bigger increase. But on years that we don't have an increase, again, we all get to save that money for that entire year. So I say that to say this, again, in just those numbers that I explained to you before we got into salary increases, paper clips, any other additional cost, we were well over $1.5 million worth of increases to the municipality. That development here in town, previously, those 8 acres were generating about $300,000 per year. That development, now that it's completed, is generating about $1.4 million per year in taxes that are being paid to the municipality. That's about $1 million increase to the municipality. But that alone didn't even cover the increases that just the local municipality saw in 1 year in Little Falls, not to mention the schools, the regional school, and the county, who all also have increases to their budgets annually. So I don't disagree with you. In my 9 years of preparing budgets, in my 9 years of sending out tax bills as mayor, this was by far the largest one that we have ever seen. But what I think you need to keep in mind is if you look back over the 9 years and you average the increases over 9 years, the average increase has been relatively small as a whole. The other thing that I think is important to note is that, again, the $45 per month increase that we see on the average home here in Little Falls. I got a call from an individual recently who is in a rent-controlled unit here in Little Falls, currently paying $1,600 per month. In the CPI over the last 12 months in the state was 4%. And that individual paying $1,600 per month in a rent-controlled unit called to say that his rent went up $64 in the past year. That's 4%. That's what the CPI was in the past 12 months in New Jersey. And his increase per month went up $64 in his rental unit that cost him $1,600 per month. That's 1.5 times what taxes went up on the average home here in Little Falls to a homeowner who has an entire home. So I don't disagree with you. I'm not going to sit here and say $45 per month on the average home is nothing. It's not nothing. It is certainly something. It is certainly an increase that we're all seeing. But you have to keep in mind the increases that you see as a homeowner, as an individual, is the same increases that we are seeing. The township's water bill. I know utility bills have gone up astronomically lately, and you look across the entire state, electric bills, all of these things have gone up. The town, as a municipality who pays a water bill, who pays an electric bill, who has to pay for all of their supplies, no different than an office, we are also realizing and seeing these exact same increases that every person is. And again, I acknowledge we do everything we can to keep them as small as possible, these increases, because I know you're dealing with it on a personal level and then in addition to the taxes. But unfortunately, this was one of those years where we got hit from every direction with increases across the board that we just unfortunately had to see an increase in the taxes this year. And as much as we've tried to keep them low and keep the average increase low, this year was certainly the biggest that we've seen in 9 years. And it's just unfortunate. It was the perfect storm of all things.
Been living over here for 40 years. When I bought the house, I paid $1,500 a year. Now we're talking about $12,000, I'm a year over here now. That's a lot of money. I mean, it's impossible to keep this up. It's impossible. So, that's my point. It's when I bought them, there was nothing. And it wasn't not only 4%, then I was paid 11% because Mr. Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States. So That's a lot of big difference, you know? My mortgage was $700. Mortgage and tax. Now, forget about it. But anyway, thanks a lot for explaining.
Is there any?
They didn't want to hear me talk about that. That's where they all left.
Is there anyone else that'd like to come before us? See no one else come before us, can I have a motion to close the public comments. Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Patel. All those in favor? All those opposed? Want to thank the staff for assisting me in putting this agenda together. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Patel, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? This meeting is now closed. Yeah.